we got some Q&A. We got some questions to discuss here. I'll just jump right into it. Number one, speaking of that, this is flowing together quite nicely. Question number one, what are things to look for when you're debating whether to raise your voice or yell due to those under you being lazy or unmotivated? Y'all talk a lot about the importance of self-control and not just losing it. But would you say there's a time and place for raising the intensity while still being respectful towards your guys? So there you go. Yelling and screaming. Get some.
Sometimes you got to just drop the hammer. Jocko yelled and screamed at us all the time. Like I've talked about on this, I think on the podcast, we certainly talk about it all the time. I mean, the number of times that Jocko screamed and yelled at me, zero times in all the years that we worked together. And I know I gave him at least dozens, maybe hundreds of opportunities to want to probably done that. And he didn't do that because he realized it wasn't effective. So now listen, there is a time where, if there's a major safety issue going on and you're trying to get people's attention and you want people to cease fire or you need to rally the troops, where you got to raise your voice and get people's attention. And I think you can't be afraid to do that as a leader.
There are certainly times where I'd say, hey, Leif, get those Bobbies lined up over there, or stuff like that. I mean, for sure. Is that yelling? Well, yeah, I'm definitely raising my voice and using a loud voice, but I'm not doing it, with anger. It's just, hey, you got to hear me. And also, there is times where you've got to pick up the intensity in your voice so that people realize there's something important happening, right? There's just enough. Now, you don't want to yell and scream and get all crazy, but to be like, hey, I need vehicles here now, like that is different than, hey, can you get the vehicles over here now? Right? Those are two different things. And I would react differently if I heard those two voices. So yes, now to go, I get those vehicles over here now. No, well, now we're creating a whole panic situation.
But that's a great point too, right? And it's the kind of never cry wolf story. So if you're yelling all the time, I need those vehicles over here right now, when there's nothing at stake and it's no big deal and it's just a routine movement, then when you do that and you really need it, then no one's paying attention. They think, oh, it's just Leif yelling again into the radio. Yeah. So I think that's another reason why I actually have seen Jocko raise his voice on one occasion.
Yeah.
And when there was a serious issue that needed to be addressed and you needed to get the person's attention to show just how serious of a situation it was, and it got everybody's attention.
Yeah.
It got everybody's attention right away because you never did that. And when you did do it, it was like, oh, man.
Yeah. I always tell that to leaders, like being on the radio, and this goes for being in a meeting, right? If you go to a meeting, if you're in charge of a meeting and you talk the whole time and then you have something important to say at the end, well, that's great, but it's not as impactful as when you say very few things during the meeting and then at the end you say, hey guys, listen up. Here's what's going on with this, and everyone pays attention. So I've said this before, the less you talk, the more people listen, and that goes true here. The more you yell, the less people listen. And it takes away the opportunity. If you ever do have to yell, it's going to have zero impact. So my blanket statement is you should hardly ever have to raise your voice, and it should just barely ever happen.